The flying device here is my variant of a mullet back. It's a blue pseudo hackled mullet back, or dowel back, I suppose was more the very original fly. Mullet just have a thing for red and blue, so this particular pattern makes use of some blue spanflex, some blue beads, and some blue kingfisher blue pseudo hackle. It's been doing well for me, so we'll get to how to a standard size 12 heavy wet. It's a barbed hook. You can try fishing barbels for mullet if you want, and you might have some success, but they're notoriously difficult fish to catch, number one, and obviously once you do start catching them, you will have a problem in that a lot of them do tend to come off when they hit the fly. So I suppose sticking with what would be standard use, you'd normally be using a barbed hook, I'm afraid. On this I've slid 2 glass beads, and mullet flies tend to use glass beads quite a bit, either red glass beads on a number of flies, or blue. And one of the more popular flies for mullet is a beaded, red beaded dowel back, which is also known as a mullet back, being one of Colin McLeod's patterns, and Colin has written a very good book on mullet fly fishing if you look it up. So I think pretty sure that's a fulling mill competition heavyweight size 12 thread. I'm using it's a White Spyder thread, so it's 30 denier, so it's quite thin. Hopefully it won't break. To help with that, I'm using a glass bobbin. This is a Dr. Slick glass bobbin, so you need like a good ceramic bobbin, or my preference for threads that are inclined to break or fray is a glass bobbin. So that's what I'm using. So I'm just going to catch this thread is white. I'm just going to catch it in behind the beads. You can be a little bit, I'm just going to give it a hitch already. You can be a bit unlucky with the bead sometimes if there's a sharp edge or that, you know, your thread can cut, and it's just a look at the draw sometimes. They're just made of plastic. So I've got a blue permanent marker, or sharpie, or whatever you'd like to call it. I'm just basically changing the thread color to blue for a bit. Just carefully bringing it back up the bobbin. Trap down some of that tag and then slip it off. So on the way down to the bend, I suppose, sort of in line with the barb. I'm going to add first part of the tail at this stage, which is some blue peacock neck, particularly good feather for mullet. They seem to be quite fond of, as I say, flies with blue or red in them. I'm going to basically wrap the thread forward to the back of the beads just to help push the beads forward on the hook. Then I'm going to add some blue spanflex or flexi floss, and I'm just going to take a couple of inches. Again, I'm going to catch this in at the back of the beads, and the idea again just to keep the beads pushed forward. So let's catch it in here, and then on the way down I'm going to try and keep a strand to each side. Let's get down to the tail area. Again, just be careful if you're using light thread. You can use heavier. That's just what I'm using on this pattern. Again, just keeping the blue colour in the thread. Now, you have a choice then for the body material. You can use peacock herl, or I like to use a black straggle, which has a sort of a blue UV through it. So you can see it's black with a sort of a blue fleck. So I find it's a good alternative to using the natural peacock herl. Just going to catch this in on the way up. I'm just going to go up to the beads and just come back a couple of turns. And wind the wind your straggle forward to that point, just maybe a mil or so back from the beads. A couple of turns in front. Trim off your straggle. When I'm at this, I'm going to trim my flexi floss or spanflex. So I don't want it too long, probably twice the length of the hook. Add a pseudo hackle to this, so it's this material here, and basically I've come in and I've trimmed across it at an angle, so it's going from short to long. So just to show that again, basically bring your scissors in here and cut on a diagonal down towards the opposite side, and that will give you this effect. So this is Kingfisher Blue, it's by Hareline dubbing, and basically I'm just going to add this as a hackle at the front. So I'm just going to give it 1 or 2 turns behind the beads. So it's a good idea. I've just already done it just to show you. Just trim a little piece off here just to leave this for catching in. It can be a little bit tricky material in terms of when you're winding or rotating it, so just be wary of that. You could use blue thread if you have it, but I just didn't. It's not something I tend to have much of. So again, if this isn't going on right, just go back and start again. So just going to give this maybe 2 turns like so. Just wiggle the thread in and get 2 turns behind. I'm just going to add a half hitch. Again, you just have to be a little bit careful. Now you could make a full body out of this material as well, if you wanted. Move that out of the way. So really all that's left is to add a bit of lacquer and whip finish. So I got a new whip finish tool, just getting used to. There you go. There's our blue pseudo hackled mullet back, and it's been producing the goods for me on golden greys in particular lately, and some thick lips as well.